My name is Li Zi, and today me and my teammate Wei Ming, Rita, Eric, and Gaston, we are going to discuss and analyze on a conflict scene that took place in a football camp between two players. Now this scene is taken up from a movie called Remember the Titans. I understand that a lot of you might not have watched the movie. Therefore, as you all know, I've prepared this plot summary for you to understand what leads to the football camp. So while you are reading, or maybe some of you have read, let me formally introduce to you the two players involved in this conflict. They are Julius and Gary. Both were originally from different teams and then they merged and joined the Titans. Now Julius was seen as a role model among the African American boys, while Gary is the football captain of the team, and also he's seen as an overall role model for the white boys. Take note that both of them are excellent and quality defensive players. But the problem with them is they fail to integrate with each other's culture and background. This lack of communication and misunderstanding often leads to conflict and non-team cohesiveness. As such, they are unable to line up a better partnership for the defensive lineup, as you can see from the scene here. Alright, sorry for the interruption. Let me be the football analyst for a short while. You can see that the guy wearing the black beak is Julius. What he did wrong was, in the football perspective, he failed to make a tackle in time on the player, on the offensive player on the right. Therefore, the offensive player is able to pass the ball to the guy on the left side and allow him to have a free way to do a touchdown. Now, should Julius allow his teammate to help him to cover this right side, he will be able to focus on player number 40 or the guy on the left, and this will not happen. Therefore, I think he's going to get scolded by his captain in exactly 4 seconds.
Get him! What are y'all doing? 44 stacked, you're supposed to know your job. Campbell, you're playing selfish show-off football. Hold your man down.
Don't you single me out like that? Don't you think I'm stupid or something?
Listen, I'm the team captain, and I don't need you up on my face, so I'm the team captain. All right, ladies. I'm Gary. You're Julius. Let's get some particulars and just get this over with, all right?
Particulars?
Yeah.
No matter what I tell you, you ain't gonna never know nothing about
Hey,
me.
listen. I ain't running any more of these 3 days, okay?
Well, what I got to say you really don't want to hear, because honesty ain't too high up on your people's priority list, right?
Honesty? You want honesty? All right, honestly, I think you're nothing. Nothing but a pure waste of God-given talent. You don't listen to nobody, man. Not even Doc or Boone. Shiver push on the line every time, man. You blow right past them. Push them, pull them, do something. You can't run over everybody in this league. And every time you do, you leave one of your teammates hanging out to dry. Me in particular.
Why should I give a hoot about you? Huh? Or anybody else out there? You want to talk about a waste, you the captain, right?
Right.
Captain's supposed to be the leader, right?
Right.
You got a job?
I have a
you
job.
You been doing your job?
I've been doing my job.
Then why don't you tell your white buddies to block for Red better? Because they have not blocked for him or for Plug Nickel, and you know it. Nobody plays, yourself included. I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team? No, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look out for myself, and I'm going to get mine.
See, man, that's the worst attitude I ever heard.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Alright, this is the conflict scene. And this will be the discussion topic for our group. You can find it at the back of your plot summary. Now I will start off by taking the first part, which is what message did the captain Gary intend to convey to Julius. As you can see from the scene, Gary finds that Julius is playing selfish football. But he also recognizes that Julius is an excellent defensive player. But in order to maximize his potential, he needs to collaborate and work with the rest of his teammates better. On the other hand, how do you think Julius perceived Gary's message? I'll pass the time now to Wei Ming and you'll elaborate further on that.
Thank you, Li Zhi. Thank you, Li Zhi, for explaining Captain Gary's intention in his message. I'm Wei Ming and I'll be elaborating on how Julius perceived Gary's message. Although Captain Gary has positive intention for Julius to maximize his potential in the gameplay, Julius wasn't happy with Gary's message. I'll elaborate this more in the next slide. Okay, just to refresh your memory, this is Captain Gary, and this is Captain Gary, yeah, correct? And Julius was unhappy because he feels that Captain Gary was abusing his authority as captain. Because Julius wasn't the only factor contributing to this lousy gameplay. The rest of the members are also contributing to it, and Captain Gary was clearly aware of it. He was even more upset when he feels that Captain Gary was actually using Julius as a statement to prove to the team that they should listen to him instead. So, is the problem resolved even for Julius' side, that you can see on the slide? Clearly no, it even backfired. And Julius instead replied Captain Gary that, "Why don't you tell your white buddies to block better?" This implied that Captain Gary was being unfair and he failed to ensure that the rest of the team members are playing correctly in this defensive play. He added on with, "Nobody played, yourself included." This implies that Captain Gary was not playing well himself and he do not have the right to comment on Julius. So our team has did a study on why Julius was not motivated, and we have used this Adam equity theory found online. And this is a theory to describe about job motivation. States that the level of input is proportional to the level of output. As you all can see from this picture, the 3 arrows going in states the input, which means the effort on work. I'll pass the slides to Peter who will elaborate.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Yeah, it's that.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. My name is with regards to Julius' perception on Gary's accusations. Sorry. Well, from their confrontation, Julius questioned Gary's role as captain and asked if he had been doing his job. Thus, I'll be discussing more on how Gary's poor leadership led to this conflict. So, what are the qualities of a good captain, you might ask? Firstly, he must be able to bring out the best of his teammates. And he should also be enthusiastic and knowledgeable about the game. He should also have a high desire to help his teammates achieve his full potential by bringing out their best and encouraging them even when the odds are against them. A good attitude and a presence within the team is a must. He should also promote respect and sportsmanship within the team and create a positive environment. This will all come to lead to qualities of a good captain. So, what did Gary fail to demonstrate as a captain? For one, he failed to promote respect and sportsmanship within the team, as he himself did not respect Julius. Furthermore, he did not create a positive environment and maintain a hostile situation with Julius. He did not bring out the best of his teammates by leading his team effectively. Certainly, he didn't have a good attitude. Now, let me bring you guys to analyze the case using Thomas Kilmann's 5 modes of conflict management. What do you guys think was the mode of conflict in their case? Would anyone like to try? Faris?
Competing.
Yes, you're right. Great minds think alike. Now let's see the definition of competing. It's stated as the win-lose approach, where you act in a very assertive manner to achieve your goals, and not seeking to cooperate and compromise. And this may be at the expense of the other party. Both of them were very assertive in their opinions of each other, and none of them was willing to cooperate and compromise. Julius even went on as far as stating that he would play for himself, look out for himself, play solo, leave Gary hanging out to dry. thus fulfilling the last sentence at the expense of the other party. Now, let's look at the benefits and drawbacks of choosing competing as a conflict management mode. Firstly, it will be good to defend yourself and your own interests. It will also be good in situations when quick decisive actions are needed. And it will benefit most when the outcome of a conflict is crucial and cannot be compromised. But the drawbacks of choosing competing would be strained relationship between the two parties, leading to resentment, retaliation, and uncooperativeness. This will result in discussion of better and optimal solutions. This out-to-win attitude will also cause harm to its people and its organization, reducing initiative and motivation within the team. And as you can see, the drawbacks far outweighs the benefits of choosing competing as a conflict management mode. Now I'll pass on my time to Eric to share with you what should Gary have done to motivate and seek cooperation with his teammates. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Good afternoon, I'm Eric. Now I'll be discussing on the solution of this problem, which is how Gary, the captain, should react to this conflict. Okay, coming back to this conflict response model, our group feels that the most applicable solution to this in this situation would be collaborating. And collaboration requires individuals to work together in resolving one's conflict. Alright, now we will give an example of collaboration by performing a short skit and demonstrate the required skills involved. So, I'll be acting as Captain Gary, and Gaston will be acting as Julius, as he's the most stand guy in our group. Okay, let's start. Julius, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
I feel that as an individual, you're an outstanding player. But football is all about teamwork and team coordination. I'm sure we can win this game, but that's only if you put in 100% of effort and willing to play as a team.
Okay, as a group leader, I think it's your duty to ensure that everybody plays as a team. But from the way I see it, nobody plays as a team, and everybody is thinking of their own individual interests.
Okay, I'll take note of this and I'll work on it. Thanks for feedback. Alright, now I'll let you take charge of your black buddies, since you know their strengths better. And I'll make sure that my white boys will give their best shots. Remember, we are here to win this game. And together, we'll make this happen. Alright?
Alright.
Alright, this is an example of collaboration. And as you can see, we have demonstrated the skills such as active listening and also identifying and analyzing the problem. Most importantly, non-threatening confrontation. Yeah. Sorry. If you realize, actually, I've added in a part that I let Julius take charge of a small group. And why is this so? This is because everybody wants recognition. By giving them an important role to play, they'll be motivated or even inspired to work even harder. So this is something that we can take note of. Okay, so for reaction, response, and responses before action, which means, however, as we know the best practice or the right approach, but knowing and doing is two different things. So what we must do is, we must always stay calm, be patient, listen, identify, then clarify. And what we must not do is being aggressive by raising our voice or judging people instantly, such as like just judging that you can't do a thing without handling a group, and being sarcastic. So before we even apply an effective solution to a conflict, this is what we must bear in mind. And there's a clear line drawn between knowing and doing. So this is what we must take note of. Alright, now I'll pass on to Gaston and he'll conclude our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for the wonderful, positive demonstration. I'm Gaston and I will be presenting on what we can learn and apply from this discussion as graduating students. And as the last speaker, I will also be concluding on our presentation. So, for the benefit of those who are a little confused of what's happening, Julius mentioned due to Gary's poor leadership. Secondly, he mentioned, I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team. What team? I'm going to look out for myself and I'm going to get mine. From this, we can see that the result of a poor leadership, individuals will start to think of their own personal interests, and it will be difficult to get things done as a group and to achieve a common goal. So, as graduating students, what can we learn from this? Conflict comes in many forms. In this case, conflict due to poor leadership. So I've identified certain leadership qualities which I think is applicable in this case, and I would like to share them with you. So, firstly, respect. Treating others with respect will ultimately gain us respect. Secondly, fairness. Research has shown that the top thing employees want from their leaders is to be treated fairly. So, to be honest, to be truthful towards them, and to treat them the way we want to be treated is important. Lastly, lead by example. So I can see that all of us here are guys, so most of us would have been through army, and of course except for Ma'am Chan, the prof. So I will agree that, I believe that all of you will agree with me that the best way to lead is to lead by example, right? So these are the 3 leadership qualities which I believe in this case we should learn from. Okay, in conclusion, I think our group deserves at least 3 aces. Okay, no. Anyway, what I meant was 3 A's. Conflicts can happen to anyone, at anywhere and at any time. So it's important for us to identify the conflict. And in our case, the Adam equity theory. And lastly, to decide on an appropriate conflict response mode, as mentioned by Rita and Eric, and to weigh the pros and cons of each response mode, and to apply them whenever applicable at different situations. So with that, I conclude our presentation. Now come the most important part where the class participation is involved. Any questions for us?
Any questions? How do we prevent conflicts in workplaces?
I believe that to prevent situation like that would be better than curing it. So, what we can do is we maintain a good relationship with our co-workers. So, as company, they can provide cohesion, family day, that kind of stuff. So, there's bonding between the employees. And this way, it will be better to get things done. Of course, lastly, we must be able to apply what we learn. In this case, the Thomas Kuhlman's response mode. So to apply it whenever applicable. Yeah, this is what our group feels.
Hi. Your group suggests to use collaboration in this case to solve the problem. But why not compromising? Because if they both compromise a bit, maybe things will work out too.
That's a very good question. Okay, if we can go back to the conflict model. Okay, as you can see this conflict model, Justin, right? You were saying we can use compromise instead of collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, our group actually thought of this, but we come to a conclusion that compromising will only be beneficial when both parties have equal power status. It's more for negotiating purposes. And if one of the party is having too much advantage over something, it might create an imbalance. So we might not achieve the optimal result. So we feel that collaboration, for this situation, collaboration will be the most appropriate response mode to apply. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
What happens if you really choose like a way to confront the problem, but then it doesn't work out? What would you do then?
Well, I'll answer the question. So actually, it all boils down to the same model. Okay, there are five modes of conflict management which you can choose from, and as what Gaston has concluded, that in different situations, it applies differently. So let's say in our situation, we chose collaborating to solve the situation. But in other cases, it might be you can either choose to compromise or accommodate, depending on who you probably in a situation with your superior. You're probably in a difficult situation with your superior. Yeah. So it all depends on the situation, and as and when you can apply it flexible. You must be flexible. Yeah. Thank you.
Your case study is based on teamwork. It's based on a team, right? The dynamics of the team, that football team, right? So, in solving any problems of conflict, right, as a team, what is the best mode of resolution and management?
Will you give us a minute to discuss? Okay, we have all agreed on collaborating.
I agree with you too. That's precisely why I asked that question. Because when Justin asked the question, right, why not compromising? That should be your answer. It's team. It should be collaboration. Right?
Thank you.
And to wrap it up, I will highly recommend you to watch this movie.
Yeah, it looks so
It's a
interesting.
very, very interesting, educational, inspiring, yeah. And it's based on true story.
Yeah, let's choose the
And award winning.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
Thank you.